everybody, welcome back to English in 10. My name is Natalie, and today we're going to talk about common pronunciation errors in English. So this is only part one. There are quite a lot of pronunciation errors that people make, so we're going to break it down into different videos to keep it nice and short just for you. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications, ding ding, so that you will be notified when we publish part 2 and part 3 of this video. All right, great, let's get started. Our number one for pronunciation errors, which is very common, is forgetting to put the S on the end of plurals and the third person singular. So he, she, it. So flower, one flower, two flowers. He buys. People often forget the S when they use the third person singular, and we understand what you mean, but it sounds really strange. It sounds very weird for us. So it's really important to add on that S at the end. Okay, so every year on my birthday, my wonderful boyfriend buy me flower. No, it sounds terrible. We need the S. So every year on my birthday, my wonderful boyfriend buys me flowers. Okay? Always remember the S. You've worked so hard to learn English and to practice your grammar and to really have a good level. So it's these little things that we don't want to ruin it for you. And it just is a matter of practice. So just be very aware of plurals with S and the third person singular. Great, let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 is something that's quite common for Spanish speakers especially, and it is adding an E to the beginning of words that start with S. School, special, Spain. It's very common if in your native language you don't have words that start with an S, they always start with an E. It's very natural for you to add those letters on when you're speaking in English, but it sounds very weird for us as well, just like the plurals without the S's. It sounds very strange, and it's ruining your pronunciation. The good news is that it's really easy to fix it, and you already know how. So, if you're saying, for example, I'm Maria, I'm from Spain, we need to get rid of that E, Spain. Now, to make the S sound, you just need to relax your jaw, keep your teeth a little bit separate, and you put your tongue just to the front of your mouth, but don't touch your teeth, just to the front. And just make a snake sound. Spain, special, school. All right? So if you're finding it really hard and it's difficult to remember, just think about practicing almost whispering the first part. So if you're saying, I think that is special, try and make the E silent. So I think that is special. And just keep practicing and practicing and drilling. And eventually you'll stop saying the E altogether and you'll pronounce the word perfectly. All right, good job. Let's look at number 3. Now, number 3 is very similar to number 2. But it is adding extra vowels to the end of words instead of the beginning. Now, a lot of languages, a lot of Asian languages especially, have a vowel between every consonant. It's not very common to have lots of consonants together or to end a word with a consonant. So it can be quite difficult because it's a habit for people to add an extra vowel to the end of their words. So for example, the word yogurt, for us, yogurt, can become yogurto or yogurtu, right? Because it's just not natural for you to end it with the t sound. But it's very natural for us, and it sounds very odd when people add in extra sounds to words. This one is just practice, just drilling it. So even if every day you pick 5 to 10 words that you know you say all the time, and you know that you add bits on to the end, and take them and spend 5-10 minutes just saying them and really, really focus on ending those words with the consonant sound and not adding any vowel to the end. So you take that word yogurt, for example, that you maybe say yogurto, and you practice yogurt, yogurt, okay? It's exaggerated, over the top, but eventually that will really help you to make sure that you're not adding those extra vowels onto the end and making the word sound strange. All right? Perfect. Number 4 is difficulty with consonant clusters. Now, in English, we have a lot of consonant clusters, which is uncommon in lots of other languages. And a consonant cluster is when you have lots of consonants together with no vowels in between. And as I mentioned, it's quite common, especially in Asian languages, to have consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel. So these clusters can be really difficult for people, and it's very strange for us if they're not pronounced correctly. So this is a really, really important one to work on, to fix it, to make sure that we get it right. So for example, we have school, thrive, stretch. We have so many of these words that have lots of consonants together with no vowels. And what happens is many people pronounce it, and stretch becomes sutarech. Thrive becomes thrive. Okay? You add in vowels where there aren't any. Very naughty. So we need to just practice. Okay? The only way to fix this pronunciation, is to really focus on the words. And very similar to before, a good idea is to take words that you find hard, that you know are difficult. Take words and make a list, and then every day for 5 minutes, just read through them and really, really focus on not adding anything in. If you have to say it really, really slowly, that's totally fine. So if you find stretch hard, you can say stretch, stretch. You don't have to say them fast. What's important is that you focus on not adding the vowels into the words, because there is a huge difference between stretch and sutarech, and people won't understand. So practice a little tiny bit, just a tiny bit. Practice every day words that you find difficult, and soon your brain will you'll get used to it, it will seem normal, and you'll be able to pronounce the words without any problems at all. Just like a native, it'll be perfect. Our last pronunciation difficulty for today is the pronunciation of V and P, which is especially difficult for Arab speakers because they are consonants that don't exist for you. Now, I don't know if it's the same in any other languages, if your language also doesn't have V or P? Let me know. Be very interesting. So these consonants are important because we use them a lot in English, and because in some languages they don't exist, what happens is the words sound strange. So nirvana, for example, becomes nirfana. So you replace the V with an F, and people becomes people. And you replace the P with a B, which sounds very strange for us. But there is good news. The reason that you replace V with F and P with B is because they are very similar sounds to make, and I will explain exactly what you have to do to make the correct sound. You've put in so much work to learning English because it's really, really hard to learn another language, and you've worked really hard. Good job. You've worked really hard. So we want to just correct these little errors so that all that hard work doesn't go to waste. Let's take a look at how we can fix this tiny error of saying B instead of P. Now, P is an unvoiced consonant. That means that if you touch your throat, when you say P, this should stay still. Your vocal cords don't move. So you close your mouth and then push the air forward, and at the last minute, open, and the sound should come out. P, P, P. When you say P, air should come out of your mouth. If you take your hand and you say P, you should feel the air on your hand. People, people. Okay? So try it. Take your hand, close your mouth, and say people, and you feel the air on your hand. Okay? When you say B, B, you use your vocal cords. This is the only difference. Okay? It's the exact same. You close your mouth, you push the air, but you use your vocal cords. And when you open your mouth, there's no air. B, bus, bike. B, B. So practice the difference. Take your hand and say people, and you can feel the air. And then say B, B, B. You should have no air on your hand. So people doesn't use your vocal cords, and there's air. And B does use your vocal cords, and there's no air. So give it a try, maybe when you're by yourself so that you don't look like you're insane. But give it a try. Or you could stand in front of the mirror or the window and you'll see the air and practice P, P, B, B. And just practice over and over and over, and then pick some words with those consonants and start practicing and really focus on, can I feel the air? Can I feel it here? And in no time at all, you'll be pronouncing all the words correctly. That leaves us with F and V. Very similar to P and B. F is unvoiced and V is voiced. So, to make these sounds, you have to put your top teeth onto your bottom lip. Just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. You don't have to look like a crazy person or like you're, I don't know, a little mental. Okay? You just need to put your teeth on your lip a tiny bit. With F, the sound is unvoiced. So you don't use your vocal cords to make the sound. You push the air, and at the last minute, lift your teeth and let the air come out. But you don't use your vocal cords. So So if you want to practice, you can hold the sound, hold the air for longer. So f, 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 f. So teeth on your lips, no sound from here, and just gently open your mouth and let the sound come out. For V, it's exactly the same, except you're going to make sound from here, from your vocal cords. And you'll feel, it's quite funny, you can feel your lips vibrate. It's a good word with a V, vibrate. You can feel your lips vibrate. V, V. So again, you can practice and hold the sound for like a long time to get used to the feeling. So V, V. It makes you sound a little bit like a lawnmower, but here you go. So f, f, V, V. The difference is V, the sound is from here, and you can feel your lips vibrating. Okay, so you can pick some words and practice them. Just practice them over and over again, not for long, for maybe 5 minutes. Practice these words and get used to the feeling of what it's like. After, friend, wave, vibrate. And just practice them over and over again. And it's like all of the other pronunciation errors. If you're aware of them and you practice, your brain will get used to it and it will become normal. And then you will always pronounce them correctly. All right. I hope that was helpful. That was our last pronunciation error for today's video. I hope it was helpful and you enjoyed it. I will be making more pronunciation error videos in future. So don't forget to turn on notifications so that you know when they are published. And I hope you have a lovely day. I will see you next time. Bye.